Venue, the racecourse ground. 4th Division Wrexham, the cup team of the year so far, against 1st Division West Ham. The winners away to Oxford or Sunderland. Commentary from Tony Gubber.
How long can the fairy tale last? You can feel the expectation in the air at the racecourse ground after those two sensational cup results against Arsenal and West Ham. But for Wrexham's new kids on the block, the problem tonight will be how they cope with being favourite. Well, manager Brian Flynn sticks with the same 11 from the two previous FA Cup ties, so teenager Lee Jones, who came on as a substitute to equalise against West Ham, stays on the bench. West Ham have two changes from the side which drew 2-2 with Wrexham. Ludo Miklosko is still out injured, and so he's replaced by Tony Parks for the second game in succession, while up front number 10 Mike Small is preferred to Trevor Morley as the striking partner for Frank McAvenny. Colin Trussell of Liverpool is again in charge as Wrexham in the red shirts start this match attacking the goal to the left. Can they collect a second Division 1 scalp to add to that of Arsenal, which already hangs on their belt? There's got to be a result tonight, extra time and then penalties if required. Inside by Davis, went under the foot of Phillips. It's McAvenny looking for his new partner up front, Small, and tried to squeeze it out down the left, and it was easily dealt with by Thackeray. Connolly kept it in play. Watkin looking for Gordon Davis. That was a trip as Phillips tried to burst through. Steve Potts the offender, and Wrexham have pushed a lot forward. Mickey Thomas will take it. Oh, it's there, is it? Watkin got a foot on it and then he didn't quite, and it might have broken to Gordon Davis as well. Just running his fingers through his hair. He knows how close that was to a real good chance. Lovely flick on by Carey. And finally Foster back to Parks. Sartori got highest. This is Keane. Brown, Keane again. Mitchell Thomas, Keane. And Sartori did a good job of shepherding both the ball and McAvenny. Kenny Brown's header. Oh, Carey left it, there wasn't sure, there was a bit of indecision then between himself and Sartori. This is Hardy, ever present this season, this 18-year-old, who's attracted a lot of admiring comments from bigger clubs. And that's a great ball to find Connolly, who stepped over Breaker, and he's kept it in play, did he? Oh, not quite, the flag went up. The header was from Owen, the save was from Parks. It wouldn't have counted, it had just run out of play, but that was a really bright bit of football. Crowd of around 18,000 showing their appreciation. A terrific ball played out by Phil Hardy first of all. Well, it was a touch and go decision. The linesman put his flag up. Oh, but that was a terrible ball by West Ham. And that's a great one to find Watkin. He's on his own, there's very little support. He's got it right across the face of goal. It was a terrific ball by Watkin. Dix who cleared. Well, if there'd been more support further upfield, quicker for Steve Watkin, then West Ham might have had problems. He did well to get that round Foster. Corner. Mickey Thomas, he loves to hit them with that left foot as they drop. Owen tried to take it in his stride and get past McAvenny at the same time and lost it. Only 20 years of age, Welsh under-21 international, who began as an apprentice here at Wrexham. West Ham have come into this match unbeaten in their last 5 games, won 3, drawn 2. And well, the decision was given by that linesman in Wrexham's favour. Mike Small looked very puzzled. The linesman was as close as he could possibly be. Sartori wants Small back even further. McAvenny. This is Brown. It was kept in play. Thackeray will have to do something. In fact, the linesman's given the corner. Yes, it wasn't quite going to run, and Slater got there very quickly. Ball came off the defender. So, just under 20 minutes gone. West Ham's first corner. Foster up. And it was from corners that Wrexham didn't defend too well in that first match, but they did all right there. Davis. Oh, Watkin will have to come back, he's offside. Oh, he's pushed it right through them. It's a terrific break, and he's kept his balance. That was a trip. That was a trip. Now, if the letter of the law is applied, that trip on Conley will see Tim Breaker sent off. What will Mr. Trussell do? Conley had outstripped him. There's a posse of players around there. But what else can he do, the referee? Breaker, remember, who was outstripped by Lee Jones for the equaliser. And looking at that replay once or twice, it may be that Breaker thought about trying to catch his heels, but to his credit, he didn't in the first match. But he took down Conley then. And maybe it's a yellow card. Well, that's one to look at and debate. Breaker stays on. Wrexham have a free kick, and Mickey Thomas has had his say to the referee as well, just by the ball. Now he'll take the free kick, Mickey Thomas. But that's a controversial talking point. Chipped up beautifully, they're all forward. Oh, nearly, Owen. Well, it was a well-worked move. This is one from the training ground, a little chip up. Gareth Owen had continued his run, and he swung a leg at it and missed. Nice flick on by Small. Here's McAvenny, West Ham's first chance, and O'Keefe has made a very good stop. Well, that'll do the 34-year-old a world of good. That's one for building confidence. Hardy. Owen. Breaker. Carey's jump, it's dropped for McAvenny, and now Slater. Oh, well done, Stuart Slater. He let Thackeray dive in. Dix on the outside. And who was it covering? Gareth Owen. Small. Dix. Oh, it was a trip, but he kept his feet, Slater. And Mickey Thomas concedes the corner. Well, have Wrexham been practicing their defence from corners after the 2 they conceded at Upton Park? One from Dix, one from Morley, one in each half. Both came from corners. That's Foster, and he's there, the big man. Colin Foster, tallest figure in that penalty area, has put West Ham ahead against the run of play, it has to be said, after 27 minutes. And yet again, Wrexham have conceded a goal from a corner. Well, there was no defender jumping with him. It was only O'Keefe, the keeper. It looped in over the top of Thackeray, and yet again Wrexham have gone behind in an FA Cup tie. Hardy. Conley. Hardy again, he'll get to this. Watkins inside. Well, he might have checked back because he was a little bit offside. Still Hardy. Well struck, right-footed, but didn't really ask too much of Tony Parks. Well, when he first got into the team, Phil Hardy, he actually replaced Alan Kennedy, the former Liverpool player, who was allowed to go because Hardy looks such a good prospect. And Wrexham have won it back. Well, that looked like a foul. Wasn't a lot of doubt, surely, Mr. Dix. Well, two-footed from here, anyway. Five minutes to go to half-time. Mickey Thomas with the free kick. Wrexham still looking for a way back. Foster's header's only down to Conley. Carey! Oh, he took it well, Brian Carey. It was a half chance that broke to him, but he got a lot of meat into it. First shot across the face of goal was by Carl Conley, and when it ricochets out to Brian Carey, he struck it well. That's West Ham's throw. Breaker. This is time added on to the first half for stoppages. And there haven't been too many. Hardy. This is Potts. Keane. Potts again. Phillips, who took it away from him. Phillips still. There's nobody that way. Well, all the help was the other way. Slater for West Ham. Mitchell Thomas. Smalls jockeying for position. And O'Keefe kept his eye on it. Dix. Sartori. Oh, he's only succeeded in giving it to McAvenny. And has to concede the throw. Keane, back to Slater. As the whistle goes to end the first half, which is disappointing from Wrexham's point of view because they had the better of the chances in the first 25 minutes, but it was Colin Foster who put West Ham ahead somewhat against the run of play with that header from the corner after 27. And since then, a little of the Welsh fire has died, and it will need to be rekindled in the dressing room at half-time. Here at the racecourse ground, it's Wrexham 0, West Ham 1. Well, West Ham haven't reached the fifth round of the FA Cup yet. Remember, Wrexham were trailing in both the games against Arsenal and in the first match at Upton Park, and scored all their goals in the second. And Tony Parks might yet have a busy 45 minutes. Conley, back to Hardy. Forced to hurry by Small, who handled, and free kick, which has already been taken. Conley, Mickey Thomas, Gordon Davis. Well, if Wrexham make a start to the second half, anything like the one they made to the first, then this game could quickly be turned around. Here's Watkins, he's taken it off Dix. Oh, Dix recovered well. Just for a minute, Dix was in trouble, but he did really well, the number 3. And Slater to put McAvenny away. Nobody in the middle to look for. And he's tripped from behind by Carey. Free kick. Well, the one thing Wrexham don't want to do, of course, is concede a second goal. But Watkin was so quick to take that off Dix, who then, in response, did well himself. Brown, back to Keane. Foster stayed forward. Slater. It was a diving tackle by Thackeray. Foster's coming in. Header out was by Carey. This is Phillips. Not what he intended, I'm sure. Well, Wrexham have won all their home FA Cup ties. They're going to have to come from behind again if they're to do the same to West Ham that they did to Arsenal. Mitchell Thomas forcing the corner. He's there again. Oh, well, unless they pick him up and unless they deal with him from corners, Wrexham are not going to find a way back. He got to that and just directed it wide. Hardy. Again. Gordon Davis to chase. And he's got it. Well done, Gordon Davis. This is Thackeray. This is Owen. Oh, it was drilled across. Now, was he looking for a head? Was he looking at the target? He's really pumped up and down this field, Gareth Owen. Attacker 1 minute, defender the next, and he thumped that right across goal. Watkin was brought down from behind by Potts, free kick. And Potts is being called across, and that may be one tackle too many. He looks a bit confused, and I have to say that Steve Potts hasn't been a particular offender tonight. In fact, that's Ken Brown that he's talking to now. And Ken Brown is indeed cautioned. Too high for Watkin. Joey Jones shouting encouragement. So Trevor Morley on and Mike Small off. And you'd have to say that the decision to play Mike Small from the start hasn't really been a great success for West Ham. Oh, might this fall? Owen! He did everything right, and it needed a fine stop from Parks. And that's what Wrexham want. They just want one half chance like that. And Wrexham are preparing to make a substitution themselves. And it's the goal-scoring hero from the first match, 18-year-old Lee Jones, who comes on to replace number 7, Gordon Davis. And he's got 17 minutes to make an impact this time. Well, he only had 13 in the first match. Dix. Morley. Phillips. Back to Thackeray. To Watkin, who took it down very well. Now, this is the boy, Lee Jones. Faced by Potts. Left foot cross. Header out only as far as Hardy. Mickey Thomas left it. Conley! He's got it across goal, and it was behind 3 of them. What a pity. And that was a good opportunity. It was a neat bit of football. They really had the pressure on. But when that ball came across, it was right on the penalty spot, and the 3 red shirts had been sucked in closer. Flick on has found Lee Jones. It was fouled by Potts now. Well, the ball had been played a long time before the tackle went in. And for that, Steve Potts now does get his name taken. Wrexham have got 8 in and around West Ham's penalty area. That was Carey, it's still there. And Connolly's header, goal kick. Well, if Wrexham had the rub of the dice and the luck of the green in the match against Arsenal, you feel they're not quite getting it here tonight. If Tim Breaker had gone for what looked like a blatant professional foul on Carl Connolly, West Ham would have had to play for the lion's share of the match with only 10 men. It's certain to be one of the talking points. Into the 3rd minute of stoppage time. And relief will surely light up the face of Billy Bonds. Mickey Thomas, that came off the defender. Wrexham's throw, and Mr. Trussell is being as good as his word. He's added quite a lot of time. Conley, Mickey Thomas. Oh, the header was by Watkin, and it went behind for a goal kick. Well, Wrexham have given us some new names to think about. Steve Watkin is one of them. He's only 20 years of age. Phil Hardy, the left-back's another, as the whistle goes, and the dream is snuffed out by a goal from Colin Foster, scored after 27 minutes, and Billy Bonds will be mightily relieved that West Ham have gone through. No disputing the credit for Foster's goal. He took it really well from the corner. But should West Ham have been down to 10 men before that? Well, their supporters won't think so, but 1 or 2 neutral observers may. It's goodbye to Wrexham, beaten here at home in this 4th round replay by West Ham by a 0-0, but certainly not disgraced and deserving every bit of this applause that they're getting from a massive crowd here in North Wales.
Well, they go out, but they've delighted us with some quality football this season in the Cup.
They were brilliant tonight. They were brilliant. Unlike the famous victory against Arsenal and the first game against West Ham, tonight they took the game to their opponents. They were the better side. In the first 25 minutes, they created about 3 or 4 chances. And they kept that up throughout the game. West Ham were hanging on, there's no doubt about that. And as you say, this whatever else happens in this season's FA Cup, Wrexham will be the side that we're
so far. And they've got some quality young players too, haven't they?
Yeah, they're certainly going to have chances of moving up from that lowly 4th division position.
Hope so. Well, one incident in that match may have changed the course of the game. Let's hear first what the managers thought.
It's a pity in a way there has to be a controversial talking point from what was a very enjoyable match, but the referee's decision only to caution Tim Breaker when a lot of people felt that he might have gone.
I don't criticise referees when we've had decisions go against us, but I thought it was a sensible thing to do tonight. I didn't think it was malicious. We've suffered from those things in the past, and I didn't think...
You did in the FA Cup semi-final?
We've suffered before. I didn't criticise the referee then, and really I've got to applaud him for taking the sensible view.
Nobody wants to see a professional sent off, but if you apply the letter of the law, then it has to be consistent, and he should have gone.
Yeah, I understand that, but I don't think even Brian would have wanted to see a professional go off for that. I don't think it was that.
Brian?
No, I'm agree entirely with Billy. I mean, if you look at the second goal when we scored at Upton Park, Tim Breaker could have easily done that to Lee Jones as well, and he could have gone, and he didn't. I mean, it was one of them sort of things. Carl made the break from the halfway line. Exactly the same as Billy. I don't want to see a professional player sent off in circumstances like that.
Just a thought about the goal that you conceded, because it was another one from a corner. You conceded 2 at Upton Park from corners, and the goal that put you out was another corner.
That's right. We have been working quite hard on corners. Well, defensively, I thought we caught fairly well. He is a problem, Colin Foster, from corners because of his size. I don't want to portion any blame to any particular player, but good luck to West Ham. I do hope they go all the way to the cup final.
I'll tell you what, you put the name of Wrexham on the map, though, haven't you?
Yes, I mean, it's been everything. It's been exciting. The romance of the cup has been, you know, we've hit the headlines. We now have to get back down to earth, look towards the Welsh Cup, and look to try and get up the league now as quickly as possible.
And can West Ham make something of this now, Billy, do you think? Can you go on and have a good cup run?
We've started a little mini revival now. We've had a couple of good league results, which is important to us, well, more important than the cup to us, really. But, you know, I think the two go together. We were fighting promotion and we got to the semi-final last year. This year we're fighting relegation, and a good cup run won't harm us, so hopefully we can go on a little bit further.
Thanks very much, anyway. Great cup tie.
Thank you, Tony. Thank you.
It was good. The managers were diplomatic there about that
Very charitable.
breaker challenge. What did you think, Bob?
Well, he should have gone. That's fairly definite. But I think he should, Des, really. And to be fair to referee Colin Trussell, he said it's the most difficult decision in his career, and he said that he wasn't 100% convinced that it was a goal-scoring opportunity because there were other players around. But you'll see Carl Connolly, he's away, he's clear, there's nobody around him. That is a clear goal-scoring opportunity. And although he's still got to put it in, compare it to the semi-final last year when poor Tony Gale is sent off by Keith Hackett against Gary Crosby, who was in fact running away from goal, not even at goal.
Less of a scoring
But here
chance,
it is again. You'll see that he is clear. It is, without doubt, a goal-scoring opportunity. It brings him down. And I would say 75% of referees would have sent him off. But of course, we have the hindsight of the old cameras again here. He might really have consulted his linesman. They're supposed to be a team.
What is the law there? Because you've got it there, haven't you? I mean, because some of our viewers might not
Well,
quite
it says
understand.
quite clearly, if in the opinion of the referee, a player who's moving towards his opponent's goal, as we saw Carl Connolly doing, with an obvious opportunity to score a goal, which he had, is intentionally impeded. You can sometimes hide behind that, impeded by an opponent through unlawful means.
Though, mustn't it?
Yes, oh yes, he booked him.
Yeah.
He booked him. Thus denying the attacking player's team the aforesaid goal-scoring opportunity. The offender should be sent from the field of play. Yeah. Very tricky.
Tricky one, but we reckon Tim was lucky.
But he's fair. He said it's the most difficult one, and I might have got it wrong.
Okay.
To be fair to...
No, perhaps not. Well, now to two clubs meeting for the first time in this fourth round, and both lying in fifth place in their respective divisions, Sheffield Wednesday and Middlesbrough. The winners here drawn away to Portsmouth. Commentator, John Motson.
Sheffield Wednesday's leading scorer David Hurst returned to the side after injury on Saturday and marked his recovery with his 14th goal of the season. While his opposite number, Paul Wilkinson of Middlesbrough, is one up on him with 15, including the winner in the third round against Manchester City. Well, the Wednesday lineup is the one that started against Luton on Saturday. Pearson and Warhurst now both fit again at the heart of the defence, numbers 5 and 6. But it was 37-year-old player-manager Trevor Francis who came on to change that game, and he's a substitute again tonight. It's 2.5 weeks since Middlesbrough last had a game, and their team shows just one change from that which beat Manchester City in the third round. Bernie Slaven has had a cartilage operation, so John Hendry is now in the starting lineup at number 10. It's not a happy ground for Middlesbrough. Their defeat here at Hillsborough in 1989 condemned them to relegation. Referee tonight is David Allison of Lancaster. Middlesbrough in red shirts and white shorts, playing from left to right. Jamie Pollock, and bear in mind Middlesbrough still in the Rumbelows Cup. They have a replay against Peterborough next week, so they're attacking on two fronts in the Cups. Also, of course, have second division promotion on their mind as their main priority. Here's their goalkeeper, Steve Pears. Good play there by Musto. This is Ripley for Middlesbrough. Head over there was by Parkinson. This is Pollock. And now the other fullback, Jimmy Phillips, coming into play. Here's Ripley. Wilkinson on the end of this cross, maybe. Hendry. Pollock taking over. Phillips. And that's John Harkes covering back for Sheffield Wednesday. Middlesbrough throw. Pollock. And this wind's going to be quite a problem. It's swirling around the ground. Virtually blowing a gale at the moment, although the pitch is in much better condition than it was on Saturday here. It's a lot softer. This is Paul Williams for Sheffield Wednesday, number 10. Was Kernigan. Forward by King. Oh, that's Hurst. He's through here. David Hurst. 1-0 Sheffield Wednesday. Well, now he has got 15 goals this season. 2 in 2 now for the returning centre forward, and how simple it was for him. But then again, you've got to put them away, and Hurst, once he got clear of Moen, was all on his own, and just very accurately side-footed that one past Pears. Sheffield Wednesday take the lead here in 4 minutes. The long ball was from King, the fullback, and it was really Kernigan that made the mistake, number 4, let Hurst in, and well finished. Just the start that Sheffield Wednesday would have been looking for. On by Hendry, then Wilkinson. Hendry goes for the return here, and he's battling away well. John Hendry's cleared Roland Nielsen. And Chris Woods on the 6-yard line was well placed, but Hendry may look back on that and think he'd done the hardest part. He broke clear of the Wednesday defenders, and they were struggling a bit there, especially Nielsen. He couldn't get across to him, and Woods was well positioned to make the save look easy. Here's Williams. A adroit little player, and he's got Hyde in a good position here. It's too long for Hurst and Worthington, initially anyway. Worthington tries to retrieve it, and does. Palmer! Good effort. He thought it was a corner, but referee's given a goal kick. Credit there to Nigel Worthington for retrieving what looked like a lost cause on the left-hand side. Cross seemed to have gone beyond him, but look how he wins this back from Gary Parkinson. Doesn't take him long to get a good left foot cross in here, and in fact the challenge put Palmer off. Pollock. That might stay in for John Hendry. Well, Middlesbrough have made some progress down that left-hand side. Left-back Jimmy Phillips supporting the attack well. He's got Musto in support here, number 6. Oh, there's Ripley! And Ripley again, and a good save by Chris Wood. Smart reactions from Ripley by the England goalkeeper. That was a better save, perhaps, than it may have looked. It happened so quickly after the first effort was headed away. But Middlesbrough still have the edge with a corner here. And Woods comes confidently again off the back of a very good stop. And I would imagine that when Middlesbrough look back on this, Stuart Ripley will feel he might well have scored first there. The header back to him, but certainly as it kicked off the ground, a good save by Chris Woods, the Sheffield Wednesday goalkeeper. Good flick on by Wilkinson. Oh, here's Hendry with a great chance. 1-1. Well taken by John Hendry. He struck that really well, but Sheffield Wednesday's defence will be less than happy with the way they dealt with that. The Wilkinson flick seemed to make them freeze. There's the header on, and I think it's Warhurst that's in trouble there. And he gives Hendry a great chance, which he takes with great confidence. So, rather like the Sheffield Wednesday goal, a mistake by a central defender allowing the ball to go over his head, and the striker didn't need asking twice to put the chance away. Middlesbrough, the second division side, draw level with John Hendry's second goal of the season, and I'm afraid, I'm sure he knows it, Paul Warhurst must take responsibility. The goal came on 39 minutes, and it's opened up this FA Cup tie, and you can hear the Middlesbrough fans now responding to that Hendry goal. And it's Worthington. He was fouled by Parkinson, so it's a free kick to Wednesday. Warhurst looking for Hyde. This is Worthington. This is Hyde. Deflection on the cross. Williams comes near post. And still Williams. In the end, Robbie Mustoe deflected the ball out for a corner. But with 5 minutes to go to half-time, Sheffield Wednesday badly wanting to restore their lead. This is King. Pearson, Worthington, away by Kernigan, Pollock, Ripley. That's an interesting crossfield ball, but I don't think Jimmy Phillips quite appreciated it in the wind. He made something of it though. Peak, but he played it into Williams' path, and now Wednesday are breaking with Hyde. Hurst to his right, here he is. Williams in the middle. Good effort by Hurst. Here he is again. It's Williams with a chance. Took too long. Allowed Nicky Moen to close it down, Paul Williams. It was an opening, though, for Wednesday. There's no doubt about that. We're playing stoppage time at the end of the first half here at Hillsborough. It's forward by John Harkes for Sheffield Wednesday. There's Hurst. And he's found Williams. This is King. Palmer could set Nielsen up here, in again to Williams, and the cross is deflected out for a corner right at the end of the first half. John Harkes trying to bend it through. Nigel Worthington to take the corner with his left foot. Nigel Pearson, number 6, has gone forward again. Oh, it came off Ripley, and Hurst was stretching. As he did so, the referee brought the first half to a close. David Hurst's early goal, perhaps owing something to Middlesbrough being inactive for 2.5 weeks. They got caught cold, but a not dissimilar error in central defence enabled John Hendry to equalise for Middlesbrough after 39 minutes. Half-time score, Sheffield Wednesday 1, Middlesbrough 1. Well, it's a high wind blowing at Hillsborough tonight, that's for certain. And there's no doubt it's affected the game at times, as it will do in the second half. These two sides playing for the right to meet Portsmouth at Fratton Park in round 5. But if this match was drawn tonight, and it is the first game, so there's no extra time, the replay would take place at Middlesbrough on 5th round day because of Middlesbrough's run-belows commitments. So it's a free kick to Sheffield Wednesday in the first minute of the second half. Nigel Pearson making his way forward to join David Hurst on the far side of the area, and it's Nigel Worthington to curl it in. There's Pearson, and it's Robbie Mustoe to clear for Middlesbrough, but not altogether convincingly. John Harkes. Here's Hurst again. This is Nielsen. It's Williams now. And it's opening up for Roland Nielsen. Oh, well, it could have been his first ever goal for Sheffield Wednesday after 75 games. But perhaps unused to seeing himself in that position, the Swedish fullback couldn't finish it properly. He ran on beautifully for the return. There was a flag up on the far side, not against him, against one of the other Sheffield Wednesday players, who I think must have been Worthington. Well, we've been playing for an hour in this fourth round FA Cup tie at Hillsborough. Sheffield Wednesday, 5th in the first division. Middlesbrough 5th in the second, locked at 1-1. And the roar that goes up is to signal that Trevor Francis, 38 years old, in the next couple of months, is coming on, the player-manager, as he did on Saturday against Luton Town, to replace Nigel Worthington. And can he change the game, I wonder, as he did 3 days ago? He played then on the left side and got some quality balls in, and maybe that's what Wednesday will hope for here. Oh, that's a good ball. Williams, Palmer. Away by Moen, only as far as Warhurst, though. And Wednesday are now encamped in the Middlesbrough half. Forward by King. Williams, the runner. Hooks it back well for Hurst. Here's Harks with a great chance. Oh, what a good challenge. But it's Palmer. And Hyde. Well, Middlesbrough will break here with Ripley. And there's only one man back, it's Warhurst. And still Ripley makes room for the shot. Oh, it was so close. And that's what the fans honestly want to see. Excitement first at one end, then almost instantly at the other. Middlesbrough breaking out of a tight situation in their own penalty area, and Ripley made room for the shot well here. Wilkinson was probably offside when he hit it. Offside. Trevor Francis, the player-manager on the far side, was caught there. Made his league debut as a 16-year-old with Birmingham back in the 70-71 season, did Trevor. And it's Kernigan driving it forward for Middlesbrough. And here's Wilkinson. Defender slipped, and Wilkinson has scored. And Middlesbrough have taken the lead. They've done what they did in the third round. Come from 1-0 down to lead 2-1. And the man who's brought the second goal to their delighted supporters is Paul Wilkinson. 20 minutes to go, the free kick taken, the flick on, and dear oh dear, is that Warhurst or Pearson there who got caught? Pearson, I think, this time. It was the captain who got caught, and he couldn't recover, and Wilkinson finished in style. Number 16 of the season for the top scorer for Borough, and after enduring and surviving a long spell of Sheffield Wednesday attacking, Middlesbrough take their chance on the break. It's 2-1 to the second division side. Jamie Pollock, and if this is played right, Middlesbrough could score again. It's Ripley. Wednesday have covered a bit better now, but it's Wilkinson who's found so much room. Well, Warhurst in the end concedes a corner, but the Sheffield Wednesday marking there left something to be desired. So a corner which John Hendry will take on the far side, and Nicky Moen, even though Middlesbrough are 2-1 up, has gone forward. This is Pollock. Hendry. Pollock. Away by Palmer, only as far as Parkinson. Oh, there's been a bit of an afters there. When Carlton Palmer cleared the ball, Jamie Pollock got involved again, the youngster. He's had a couple of headstrong moments in this game. Still only 17, the lad from Stockton. A bit to learn in terms of temperament, and referee Allison needs to just calm that down a bit. He was very late there, was Jamie Pollock. And there's going to be a second substitution by Sheffield Wednesday. Viv Anderson, another very experienced ex-international, 35 years old, has come on to replace Paul Williams. Now, how are Wednesday going to do this? I suspect that Pearson will now go and play centre-forward, number 6. Anderson's gone into the back four alongside Warhurst. It's a desperate gamble, this, by Wednesday, to save the game. Viv Anderson. Is there time for one more attempt by Wednesday to save the game and their place in the FA Cup? Here comes Warhurst. There is. But it's not been his night, to be honest. And I'm not sure it's Sheffield Wednesday's either, the way the referee's looking at his watch. second substitution by Lenny Lawrence. On comes Andy Payton, number 12, in stoppage time. It was Ripley who went off. Oh, that's a mistake by Hendry, but Wilkinson again makes the important contact for Middlesbrough. We're well into stoppage time now. Forward towards Pearson, up goes Kernigan, Jimmy Phillips with the header. Oh, it's come back off the Middlesbrough player to Hurst. Great stop by Stephen Pears. Wonderful save. Might earn his team a place in the 5th round, but it's not over yet. It's a corner to Sheffield Wednesday. Palmer. Why did the defender take it off the line? The keeper could have just collected it. Middlesbrough are panicking now. Corner again. Warhurst forward. Francis. Payton needs to make it. Proctor did. Well, as with all matches these days, we seem to be playing about 93 minutes, but there you go. Clearances by Kernigan. Hurst again, wide to King. It's still on for Sheffield Wednesday here. Anderson goes in, appeals, but this goalkeeper is going to earn a bit of a medal tonight, I think, Steve Pears. That was a tremendous save in injury time. And Middlesbrough go into the 5th round. A tremendous performance by Lenny Lawrence's second division side. They've put out 2 teams from the top 6 in the first division now. And what was supposed to be a celebration night for Sheffield Wednesday is spoiled in their 150th FA Cup tie since the war. They scored their 250th goal early on. It looked rosy, but then along came Middlesbrough, Wilkinson in particular, whose winning goal in the 70th minute makes it Sheffield Wednesday 1, Middlesbrough 2, and earns the North East club and their supporters a well-deserved 5th round tie away to Portsmouth on Saturday week. That was a really good all-round performance by Lenny Lawrence's team. Pears, the goalkeeper, a hero at the end, and they go through, and Sheffield Wednesday go out. In the country going for the treble, really, aren't you? I mean, run below's next week. Promotion, you've always said, is your priority, and now you're away to Portsmouth in this.
I said to the players before we played Newcastle on Boxing Day that this could be a season that they could remember all their playing lives, or they could miss out on all fronts. That still applies. We're still in both cups. We still obviously regard promotion as the priority, but there is no reason why you can't keep 3 things going. These cup ties take place midweek. We haven't lost any games through cup ties. We've only lost them through bad weather. And, you know, it's better to be involved in all 3 things than it is to be involved in nothing.
2 big scalps for them, and they're not doing that well away in the league.
No, they've got a shocking away record in league football, but Lenny Lawrence, he's got a smile on his face always. They play with a smile on the face. They've got fresh legs because they haven't played. On the other hand, the tie really, which was a fabulous cup tie, it was decided by who made most mistakes, and Wednesday will cringe at the 2 goals that they conceded. They're almost carbon copies, and they really are. I mean, there's a little flick on in each case, but that man, Paul Wilkinson, is the one who flicks on the first ball. But you've really got to look for Paul Warhurst, who makes the error that enables John Hendry to get behind him there. He's made the slip, and then he buries it. Chris Wood gets quite low, not particularly early, but Hendry's a good player. That Scott's a good player. And on the second one, it's Nigel Pearson this time. This is more of a slip. Flick on again. Loses his balance altogether, and Wilkinson, who got the winner against Manchester City, is very clever against the England goalkeeper.
Thanks, Bob. Well, now a brief look at the night's 3rd match, the 4th round tie at Meadow Lane between Notts County and Blackburn Rovers. County in the stripes, Ray Stubbs with the details.
It turned out to be an eventful and controversial night at Meadow Lane. Notts County went into the match without a win since their third-round victory. They started well, and when Bobby Mims couldn't collect Tommy Johnson's cross after 22 minutes, Gary Lund was on hand to score. It stayed that way till 10 minutes from the end, but when Mark Draper took the ball off Kevin Moran and put County 2 up, it surely sealed a place in the 5th round for the First Division side. But 5 minutes later, David Speedy and Phil Turner clashed at the edge of the penalty area on the end of the defensive wall. Referee Bob Nixon didn't see exactly what happened, but did see enough to decide David Speedy should be sent off for an alleged headbutt. The Blackburn striker didn't help himself by taking it out on the ball, but as he ran off, the referee had other things to consider. After consulting a linesman, he decided Phil Turner, the Notts County captain, should also go for retaliation. No surrender from Blackburn, though. Only a minute remained when Mike Newell pulled the goal back. It set up a frantic finish to the match, but it was too late, and the second division leaders go out. Notts County go to the winners of the Norwich-Millwall tie in the 5th round.